From North America's dense forest to the Himalayas' isolated highlands, stories of strange creatures that lurk just beyond the veil of our understanding have been passed down through generations. These cryptids, beasts between the realms of myth and reality, are a tapestry woven from the fears, folklore, and whispers of our cultures worldwide. Are these beasts mere legends born of superstition, or do they hide in the dark corners of our world, waiting for the moment they are finally revealed? The hunt for answers begins. But remember, some things are better left undisturbed. Welcome to Myth and Lores, a journey into the dark and divine. Without further ado, let's jump into another lore. The Yeti, often depicted as a large ape-like creature that roams the snowy mountains of the Himalayas, has long been a subject of mystery and intrigue. While the Yeti is mostly regarded as a figure of folklore and cryptozoology, its dark mythological origins stretch deep into the traditions of the region's indigenous people. Here's a look at the darker side of the Yeti myth. Origins and shamanic beliefs. The Yeti is deeply rooted in the spiritual and mystical traditions of the Himalayan people. In many Tibetan and Sherpa cultures, the Yeti is not just a physical but spiritual one. Some believe that the Yeti is an ancient, decisive spirit that serves as a guardian of the mountains. The creature is often associated with the high altitude, dangerous environment of the Himalayas, a place where life and death are in a delicate balance. In this sense, the Yeti can be seen as a spirit or god that punishes those who venture too far into the sacred realms of the mountains, enforcing the natural order. Shamans in these regions are said to have exceptional knowledge of the Yeti, claiming that the creature can either help or harm humans based on their respect for nature. Disrespecting the mountain or desecrating its sacred spaces could invoke the wrath of the Yeti. There are even stories of shamans who have communicated with the Yeti, learning secrets of the world beyond the physical realm. In some versions of the Yeti mythology, the creature is said to have a much darker, more monstrous side. The Yeti is sometimes depicted as an aggressive predator or cannibalistic entity. While many stories focus on its elusive nature, other accounts suggest that the Yeti might engage in violent acts against humans. In certain villages, whispered legends of the Yeti capture and consume the bodies of lost travelers or unwary pilgrims who have ventured too close to his domain. This kind of myth plays into the fear of the unknown that looms over the mountains. In some versions of the tale, the Yeti is even described as a semi-human creature that occasionally mates with humans, resulting in twisted offspring. If they exist, these offspring are often described as cursed or outcasts, neither fully human nor entirely creature, trapped between two worlds. The Yeti as a demon. In Tibetan Buddhist mythology, there are stories that cast the Yeti as a demonic entity. Some texts refer to the Menge, a wild and terrifying creature that dwells in the mountains, preying on the souls of the living. The Yeti, in this context, may be a manifestation of demonic spirit that haunts the high peaks, luring travelers to their doom or consuming their very life force. These legends often depict the creature as having supernatural abilities, including the ability to disappear at will, hypnotize, or confuse its prey, and leave behind no trace of its presence. The Yeti's connection to death and the afterlife is essential to the darker lore. In some cultures, it is believed that if a Yeti kills a person, their soul is lost forever, unable to pass on to the next realm. This may explain the superstition surrounding the creature in these regions. If you cross paths with the Yeti, you may lose your life, and your soul. The Abominable Snowman and its corruption. The name Abominable Snowman itself evokes a sense of dread. This term was coined by British explorer Henry Newman in the 1920s based on an alleged encounter with the creature. While the Yeti has various regional names, including Mete, Megoy, and Julme, the term abominable adds a sinister twist, hinting at the corruption of the creature's true nature. In some myth variations, the Yeti's appearance is altered to become more terrifying, its humanoid features exaggerated to make it even more monstrous. With glowing red eyes, razor-sharp claws, and an insatiable hunger, the Yeti becomes less of a cryptid and more of a supernatural force, a warning against venturing too deep into the icy wastes of the Himalayas. Another dark aspect of the Yeti mythology ties the creature to forbidden knowledge. Some stories claim that the Yeti keeps ancient secrets, perhaps even remnants of lost civilizations that once inhabited the region. This knowledge is said to be dangerous, too much power to be handled by mortal minds. The Yeti, in these versions, might actively prevent explorers and seekers from uncovering these secrets with violent consequences for those who attempt to breach the mountain's forbidden gates. The legend of the Yeti guarding ancient artifacts or sacred places is not just about a physical guardian, but also a metaphysical one. Those who seek the Yeti are not merely after the creature itself, but the knowledge it holds. The fear is that anyone who discovers these ancient truths risks being driven mad or cursed, as they are unprepared to face the darkness that the creature protects. The Yeti is often depicted as a giant ape-like being. Still, in some darker renditions, the Yeti is described as having more human characteristics, standing upright like a man with long matted hair and an eerie intelligence in its eyes. This hybrid nature of the Yeti, straddling the line between man and beast, is often used in folklore to explore the duality of human nature. The Yeti represents the untamed, primal side of humanity that exists beyond the reach of civilization, lurking in the wilderness beyond the laws of society. Some cultures describe the Yeti as a fallen figure, a being that was once human but was transformed into a monster due to some terrible sin or punishment. In these versions, the Yeti becomes a cautionary tale, a reminder of the darkness within all people and the consequences of giving into it. The Yeti is often a symbol of isolation and extremity of the Himalayas themselves. These mountains are seen as inhospitable, remote, and deadly, and yet, the Yeti embodies this terrifying environment. In this interpretation, the Yeti is not just a creature to fear in the physical sense, but also represents the psychological horror of solitude, of being lost in a landscape that is both awe-inspiring and lethal. It is a creature that exists in the margins, between the living world and the afterlife, a spectral figure that haunts those who venture too far from the safety of civilization. In many ways, the Yeti embodies the mountain's oppressive, inescapable force, a reminder that nature reigns. In many ways, the Yeti embodies the mountain's oppressive, inescapable force, a reminder that nature reigns supreme in these vast, uncharted places, and humans are merely fleeting visitors. The dark lore surrounding the Yeti is as layered and mysterious as the snow-covered mountains it is said to inhabit. Whether as a guardian spirit, a demonic entity, or a symbol of untamed wilderness, the Yeti represents the unknown, the primal, and the terrifying aspects of human condition. The stories of the Yeti have evolved over centuries, shaped by the cultures of the Himalayas and the legends that have been passed down through generations. Ultimately, the Yeti is not just a creature to fear. It is a complex myth that speaks to humanity's deepest fears about death, isolation, and the natural world. That concludes this lore. If you like what you heard, please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next lore. Bye.